onlinechesslessons.net, and I'm going to be looking at a game from Dhaka 1999 between Nigel Short and Neelotpal Daz. And so Short's going to be playing white, Daz is going to be black here, and you know, Short was just killing it at the time, so this was quite an upset. I think Daz was around 24.50 or so, and Short something 26.50. So Daz is playing the French here, and with knight c3, bishop b4. So that's going to be the winner. And now with e5, this is pretty much mainline stuff. And now queen g4. So this is going to go into the poison pawn variation after queen c7 here. So black is going to be sacking a pawn, and white's just going to eat it up. But now after c takes d4 is not so simple. The immediate c takes d4 would just drop a rook to queen c3 check. And so instead, white had a couple of options here. Knight e2 I think was the main line for quite a while. Rook b1 I think it's also possible. But in the game, Short chose king d1. So I believe this is now the Paoli variation with king d1. And so now d takes c3. And so it's an extremely unbalanced and dynamic position as resulted after 10 moves. So white's king is strangely safe on d1, although it looks extremely exposed. And he's going to be trying to roll the h-pawn down the board as quickly as possible. Meanwhile, black is just, his only chance really is to attack white's king before white can promote the h-pawn. So a series of just kind of natural developing moves. Knight d8 now, he's got to defend on f7. So black is, his king is pretty safe there. Bishop d7, just developing. And now after h4, queen c5. A nice move by Daz because now the white's bishop is going to have some trouble getting developed. Also, now the queen's threatening to penetrate queen d4 check. So it's a tough, it's a tricky position. I think a4 would have been an interesting idea by Short here, trying to develop the bishop, but his position, his king is very sketch. So he just tries h5, just the immediate h5, and maybe the queen can come back to defend if black really tries to penetrate. So bishop b5, a nice move trying to weaken up some more squares around white's king. And now h6. So Short has just literally marched the pawn down the board, but now it's actually a real threat. So rook g6, Daz is trying to line up some ideas of, you know, trapping white's queen back there so he can attack white's king, and he's also got a couple of tactics. So f5 and knight takes now, and also maybe f5. Maybe Short was trying to avoid a repetition of moves, something like this. So Short plays f5, knight takes f5, and now Daz is threatening rook takes h6 because the queen coming to f1 would be mate. So queen h8 and check, so king d7, and now he's really threatening rook takes h6. And without the h-pawn, white really doesn't have any compensation for his lonely king. So h7, just pushing the pawn and also defending it from rook takes h6, and rook h6 anyway. So he's got to activate the rook, and any kind of tries, you know, rook c8 is simply too slow, and f6, anything like that to open the center is just too weakening for black. So rook h6, definitely the right idea to just go right after white's king. Takes, queen f1's mate still. So rook e1 and rook h2. So very straightforward play by Daz. I mean, he's getting out of the opening. White's about the queen, but if black can make it in time with mating threats, he's going to be just fine. So knight takes e6. A nice move by Short, trying to complicate the position. If rook takes g2 directly, it looks like white's going to actually be winning after knight f4. I don't really see what white can do to stop queen to f6 here. And the knight is going to be attacking the rook and defending the d3 square. So black's got to take, and it looks like maybe if pawn takes here, white is going to have a couple of different ideas. You know, maybe he's going to be able to try to get out with bishop f4, maybe he can try to run his king out somehow. It looks like pawn takes a little too slow. So knight takes, however, now queen takes, which was pretty much forced. And just a forced win with rook takes g2 after knight takes e6, very direct. So now it's a crazy position because here short tried rook a2. Black was threatening if queen here, queen d3 is going to lead to mate. A pretty spectacular one with c2. So a crazy queen stack hanging in the air. So that's why short couldn't queen here. Any other moves? Pawn takes here, for example, if white's trying to hold on. It looks like probably, I mean, who knows? There's a ton of ways to win here, but probably something like maybe rook takes directly. Something like that. Yeah, rook takes directly is going to be an easy win. So queen to d3 is the threat in the air, and white's got to find some way to stop it. Let's say if he tries any kind of bishop move, just loses the bishop on the spot, and black is also threatening maybe rook takes c2 directly as well. Even knight to d4. There's just some crazy mates hanging in the air. So short tried rook a2 so that if queen d3 he could take the queen. And now knight e3 check by Das. So it's just getting crazier. So rook takes is impossible because queen to f, let's say rook takes, queen f1. This leads to mate. So rook takes is impossible. Bishop takes, and now queen b1 check. Bishop here, and now maybe short was hoping Das would fall for queen takes, but he just the easy mate rook takes, rook d2 check. So what a psychotic game by Neelotpal Das, beating Nigel Short. Nigel Short was killing it in 1999. So definitely impressive. So this is Will Stewart from OnlineChessLessons.net, and thanks for tuning in.